Hello everyone, welcome to Telangana Exam Center. I hope that you are doing well. Today we'll be dealing a very important reforms that has been brought in by the government of India. We will see some basics, we'll see some implications of the new reforms. We'll also talk about the rationale behind implementing the reforms at this point of time, and we'll also do some MCQs, and we'll also talk about how the MCQs can be framed on it, and I will also tell you some important challenges the GST was facing. That challenges has also been addressed in this particular reforms. So basically what we are talking about, I will be giving you small basics of GST. Not I will not be taking more than 4 or 5 minutes with you. So we'll talk about the basics, and in that also I will not be discussing all the basics. What is important to us, I will be discussing that. After discussing the basics, we will be talking about the challenges of GST, which was long pending and which has not been resolved, which has been resolved recently. So we'll talk about the challenges of GST before the reforms have come into being. And third one here is we'll talk about the implication. Now we'll talk about the reforms itself. We'll talk about the GST reforms, whatever has come in. Then we'll talk about the implications. Then we'll talk about the implications. And before going into any of this discussion, we will also talk about the rationale behind bringing in these reforms. First of all, two important areas are there which government was always trying to work on. One is what GST reforms were long pending. Even Prime Minister Modi ji has said during the Independence Day on the August 15 that GST we will bring good reforms in the GST. So one is GST reforms, there are challenges for there. We have to remove the challenges. That is the reason GST reforms have come in. Second one is we are dealing with international crisis where you know that USA has tariffed India's exports up to 50%. So when this amount of export duty was levied on our products, obviously the production will slow down by because suppose our exporters which were selling at 100 rupees in US market, now the same they will be getting in what the US citizen will be getting that product at 150 rupees. So it's not that only India is trading with USA, right? So we also have Japan also gives the same product. They also send sauces, they also send tomatoes, etc. Australia also do. Many other countries also do. Germany, France, they will also send. So when our products are being sold at 150 rupees, let us say kurkure kind of like murkuls are there, no, whatever we eat, chegodi we say. So that let us suppose we are selling at 100 rupees per gram. In the same way, Germany and all, they are also selling the kurkure, murkul, etc. so and so forth. Now our product is taxed at 150 rupees per 100 gram. Their products will not be attracting these kind of US tariffs because they are NATO-led countries and they are the Western European countries, a part of what capitalism society against Russia and China. So that's why Trump has not increased tariff on them. So they are selling at 100 or 110 rupees like that. So common understanding with regard to any consumer is that wherever the cheaper is there, you will buy. So US citizen will definitely buy from Japan, Indonesia, etc. so and so forth. So our products in USA market will become what uncompetitive. Uncompetitive is something, but we are not able to compete with the products of the similar category because of the increased tariff. So one international problem we have got all of a sudden, and when GST reforms were long pending, that is the reason GST reforms have been set in. The two important points that I would like to tell: the GST taxes which were there before in the four slabs, that we have 5%, 12%, 18%, 28%. Okay, there were four slabs of tax was there with regard to indirect taxes, which is levied on goods and services. It has been now decreased to what only two tabs are there, 18, okay, and one more 18 and 28. 18 and 28. Another has been introduced, a new one called as 40% tax, which is for the sin goods, okay, which is for the sin goods or the luxury goods. Sin goods are those goods which are just not harmful to our individual health but also individual they are harmful to society also, like coal we don't consume, but when you are using the coal for the purpose, then obviously you are destroying the environment. This is also called as sin good. And with regard to individual, you can also include here gold, because excess gold imports are leading to more of the dollar and rupee value is destabilizing again and again. So gold or cigarette, which is impacting our health, which is impacting our economy, this is impacting our environment. So any of these are classified as what sin goods. Luxury goods are those goods if you are buying what Lamborghini, if you are buying what I say is that either Manish Malhotra cup or Starbucks bottles you are buying, on that luxury goods, okay, a list of items will be given by the government of India. In that items, if you're buying any of that items, so you will be levied 40% tax. Okay, so basically now all the taxation system has been reduced on 5 and 18, and new tax category has been created 40%. This is only for the sin goods and the luxury goods. What are the sin goods on which this tax is levied? What are the sin goods on this tax is levied? Government will give the list of items, and accordingly you will be taxed. Okay, now we are having only 5 to 18%. Another one is that which we no need to tell, because it comes under zero category, nothing but exempted category. Nothing but exempted category. I hope this is clear to you with regard to the tax slabs. We were having 4, now we are having only 2. A new category was introduced, 40%. We also have zero tax before and also zero tax now. So we don't consider it as a category. That's why we are just saying that majority of the taxes are, majority of the products are in 18 to 28 5% to 18 group, then our job is done. Okay, right. Now another important area of reform that has been brought in by the government of India under the GST reform is simplification. The process has been simplified with regard to what GST filing or GST input credits or GST registration. Compliances became easy. So that is another area the government has given a push. So the two important push which was introduced in this GST reforms I have told you. Now the basics that I want to discuss with you all is why GST came into being. Okay, just see this particular area, see this particular image, and I want to tell all of you that, or I want all of you to think that these are the taxes of these states. Means in our country, states according to the constitution are given the permission to levy these taxes, levy the taxes. Now here you can see, here we are having VAT. VAT is levied on the basis of what? On production. Central government will also levy the VAT. State government will also levy the VAT. Okay, we call it as sen VAT. We call it as state VAT. Here also, if you see luxury tax, central government will also levy, state government will also levy. This is all fine. This is the federal structure of taxation we have. So we are good with it, because today also we are having CGST, SGST. This is all very, very fine. Then what is the reason to introduce the GST? We can only have what anyhow, see, central taxes are included in GST, as state GST is also included. But the problem here is, okay, problem here is, once upon a time when I was in the intermediate or degree, I guess, people used to tell that buying an iPhone in Telangana is costlier than buying an iPhone in Gujarat, because Gujarat you can reduce 10,000 rupees on iPhone, whereas in Telangana it is costly. Why? Because here you can see that sales tax levied in Gujarat is different, sales tax levied in Telangana is different. In the same way, motor vehicle tax levied in Telangana is different, levied in what I say is that Gujarat is different. In the same way, advertisement costs levied on the hoardings are different in state of Telangana, whereas in Gujarat or in UP it is different. Now what is happening? Suppose I have a company, like I have a company called as like Godrej company is there with me. Okay, Godrej company is there, and I do the Godrej company is there, and I do the distribution of what? Godrej, okay, hair dye. I do the distribution of Godrej hair dye. So Telangana government will say 12% tax on the hair dye products. Gujarat will say some other tax. UP will say some other tax. Bengal will say some other tax. Tamil Nadu will say some other tax. Now what I have to do? I have to put an administrative office here, administrative office here, administrative office here, and how much goods are being sold here, sold here. Accordingly, I have to pay to the government or not. And why I have to have many number of administrative offices? Why I have to have many number of accountants or offices in different places? Why? Because each of the states are having what? Different taxes. That is the reason there is no unified taxes not there on a single product. All states are collecting different taxes according to their capabilities and according to their liabilities, right? So that is the reason one product which is cheaper here can be costlier here, can be costlier here, can be cheaper here. Now what have we done? This is making my cost escalating or not as a Godrej company. So I have to put office here, human resource, computers, etc. So my cost is escalating. Now just imagine a point here. If government says that all states sale tax is 10%. So my Godrej hair dye tax is what? 10%. So 100 rupees is my product, 10% is the taxes. So 110 rupees. On 110 rupees, suppose in Pan India I have sold around 100 units. Okay, I have to pay on that 100 units the 10% tax or not? Yes. So I don't have to worry about which state is levying which tax, because all the state it has been simplified and unified. So that is the reason GST came into being. So with regard to the cascading effect, etc., some other are also there, but at this point of time, please remember this is one of the major area of what GST introduction in order to make the goods cheaper and now in order to make the compliances very easy. Okay, right. Now, previous issues with the GST is multiple tax confusing slabs were there. Okay, four slab systems were there, which were many times were confusing. Compliances became difficult. Like if a company is having different products in different categories, so he has to file 10 products in 5% and has to file 100 products in 12%, like that. A company has to file many products in different taxes, keep the documentation, etc. So multiple confusing slabs were there. Classification disputes are there. Many goods and services like chocolate, biscuits, auto parts fell into gray areas, okay, causing litigation and GST council workload. Okay, biscuits are like important, and whether it comes with the organic or inorganic, whether it is important for the zero exemption, whether milk biscuits are zero exemption, whether cream biscuits are tax higher. So this kind of lot of confusions were there with regard to the chocolates. Or the imported chocolate different tax, then homemade chocolate different tax, then online chocolate different tax. So that kind of problems were there. Burden on essentials, even essential goods like household, farm inputs, basic electronics were taxed higher before. Okay, that's why middle class were unable to afford all of this. Higher compliance costs. I have already told you that compliance forms, very tedious filing were there. Everything you have to type, you have to write, you have to upload. All that refund delays were there, particularly for MSMEs. Limited input credit and cascade. Okay, many of the time we have not seen that. One of the important objective of GST is that the price of the products and services will decrease, but we have not seen that much of decrease with regard to the product and service prices. We have not seen, so that has been limited. Input tax credit is also not being given to the companies who have filed the taxes. Okay, why? Because lot of work was being done in the background because of various issues that we have listed above. So these are the important issues that we are dealing with. That's the reason we have got, okay, simplified taxes. We have got here multiple tax confusing slabs were there. No, so the four were reduced to only two. Classification disputes. Okay, you can see in the next slide that how they have classified everything. Burden on essentials. Burden on the essentials has been decreased. In the next slide, you will know about it. Higher compliance cost, because it has removed the compliance cost, will anyhow get lower. Okay, and online GST portals has been very much streamlined. That's the reason we will get more output, more input credit will be given, and cascading effect will see on the goods prices of goods and services early also. Right. Now, household and food items which are taxed 5 or 18% before, now nil. So you can see that roti, paratha, paneer, pizza, bread, etc. all were like UST milk 5%. Now it has been nil. So you can see that butter, ghee, cheese, dry fruits, etc. so and so forth. All of these again 5. So basically hair oil, shampoo. So you just imagine that if a company is having any of these products, so how many different tax slabs and auditing and documentation he has to do. Now they don't have to do it. So all of these are completely given what simplified version of 5%. Now vehicle and electronics, which were 28%, now became what 18%, 10% tax reduction. So you can mobile phones are given here, small cars are like, okay, motorcycles, AC, TV, dishwasher, all cars, accessories, hybrid cars, all of them are got what 28% became 10%. Real estate, cement 28%, 18%. Marble, granite, insurance is very good. 18% tax were there before, now it is zero. Means if government want to reduce the fiscal burden on them with regard to giving any of the insurance facilities. So now we can have our private insurance. Good. Agriculture, farm machinery, drip irrigation system, which is very important for the organic farming, very important for ecological sustenance. Okay, 12% became what? Just 5%. Biopesticide, fertilizers, 12% became what? 5%. Healthcare, life-saving drugs and diagnostic kits. Okay, like diagnostic kits in Adigan, one is like IPIL. That is also diagnostic, whether you are pregnant or not. 12% it was, now it is zero. Other medicine, many are there which were listed by the government of India. There are 12, decreased to 5. Services, saloon, gyms. Okay, I was really happy that it's just attracting 5% because I am a cult goer. So cult price is like 15,000 plus 2,900 means, oh my god, that is almost like 18%, 28%. So I was very much, we are actually giving out. So saloons, gyms, barbers, yoga, instead of 18%, they will be charging what? Only 5% tax. So a lot of money is being saved. Okay, I hope this is all clear to you and properly understood by all the students who are watching me. If you are having any assistance, do ask me in the comment section. I'll make a video on it. And one more important thing is, do join my economy and formation classes. All the TGPSC, APPSC students, especially the economic classes for UPSC, TGPSC, APPSC, and formation classes only for the TGPSC. And you know that when you are taking these courses with me, and you will be getting what Indian economy. Indian budget, Indian economic survey, Telangana budget, Telangana economic survey, plus Indian current affairs, Telangana current affairs, regional current affairs. All the documents also I will include as a free to all of you when you are just being a part of it, along with the test series and exercise on it. Okay, take care. Have a nice day. I'll see you tomorrow.